I'm gonna try something fun, just for the kicks. Nice. Just making it a bit easier to move around.
I've got your back. Bye bye, Lao Wai.
Haven't gone in here yet. Maybe I found my guy in here. Could be. There he is. Alright, let's try this.
If you're talking about your former buddies at Bell Tower, the answer is no.
Wait a minute. You're Jensen, right? I heard that some of my former buddies have been looking for you.
Could be. What's it to you?
When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall not do him wrong.
You've dropped the merc gig to become a man of the cloth?
Hardly. I just have an interest in theology. And
Alpha
I'm
male.
not quoting the book. Everything in it is so evocative. Now, tell me, are you here to stop me?
That I am.
Then perhaps you should reconsider. There are many of us, and only one of you. At this moment, my men and I have no quarrel with you. So you don't have to die for a war that isn't yours.
I said I was here to stop you, not fight you. A friend of yours sent me to convince you to turn yourself in.
Let me guess. Dr. Wing, right? He's a good man. And I know he's only trying to do what he thinks is right. But he doesn't quite grasp the whole picture here.
Then why don't you enlighten me? Start by explaining why you went rogue.
When an average man decides he no longer shares his employer's views and opts to leave, we say he's handing in his resignation. When men like us do the same, it's called going rogue. You can't quit a job like ours, Jensen. You know that.
Okay, so you didn't agree with your boss. Doesn't mean you have a right to go about killing people, just because you feel like it. I won't let you.
What makes you think you could stop me? You might hurt some of us, but in the end, my men and I will win. If you make us fight.
Fair enough. But you still haven't answered my question.
I could beat him in one blow with
What
the
do you mean when you say you
typhoon,
no
so
longer share your employer's
not that worried
view?
about fighting
Back
them.
in the US, when I first got into the army, I did it because I wanted to serve my country. I believed in its values. I believed in its government. Back then, I believed that by serving my government, I was serving the people it was supposed to protect.
Nice sentiment. But you don't work for the US anymore, you work for Bell Tower.
Times change, Jensen. You know the story. Capitalism's final encroachment on one of the most lucrative industries in the history of mankind. War got privatized. The US military offloaded its special operations to PMCs like Blue Water Global and Bell Tower. I believed that as long as they were working for the government, they were serving the same cause. So when they offered me the chance to work on major operations at twice the pay grade, I made my jump.
Why don't we just skip to when things went sour?
Bell Tower outfitted us with top-notch augmentations. The kind of stuff civilians never hear about. Gave us a massive edge over the enemy. Later, seeing as my unit was one of the most successful ones, they selected us for a special program. Top secret, experimental tech. Told us we would get to work on critical black ops for the US government. But there was a price to pay.
Go on.
We had to be implanted with a neural hub that manipulates memory centers in the brain. Basically controlling what you can and cannot remember.
And you agreed to this?
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. The augmentation was supposed to keep us safe, make sure we'd never remember details if we fell behind enemy lines. That was the main function. The second one, the one they didn't tell us about, was to lower our inhibitions. Make us more receptive to orders we'd likely disobey. Bell Tower turned us into the perfect mercs.
If you were so perfect, and the hub made you so perfect, how did it fail? How come they didn't outfit the whole agency?
I told you the tech was experimental. After a couple of ops, I started experiencing memory shifts, remembering bits and fragments of past operations. Slowly, I realized some of these operations couldn't logically have been orchestrated by the government. I was asked to do highly questionable things, even by professional standards.
Aren't we all?
Not like this, Jensen. Our services have been sold to corrupt officials in the American and Chinese governments. A combination of lies and use of the neural aug made sure we complied. We were working for a shadow government. Individuals corrupted by a quest for personal power.
So how'd you get out of it?
I confronted the project director. He quoted Apocalypse Now. You have to have men who are moral, and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling. I forced him to disconnect the hub, for me and my squad mates here. And then I killed him. I went through his files and contacts. I know who these corrupt men are now. They've turned us into killing machines, and now they'll get to experience their experiment firsthand.
Listen, I have no doubt these men deserve to die. But you can't simply pass judgment on people. Nothing gives you that right. You have to turn yourself in. Play this by the book.
I'm afraid that's impossible. These men I killed, and these men I'm going to kill, they have names, families. Their deaths shouldn't be erased from my memory by some electronic software. They should haunt me, taunt me, until I finally meet our Lord and pay for my sins. But the men behind this, they deserve to die. And I think there's poetry in the fact that they engineered their own demise.
This doesn't work, I think.
I think you're wrong. But I don't think it's my place to try to stop you either. Do what you have to do.
I appreciate that, Jensen. I didn't want you to die for a cause that isn't yours.
Alright. One praxis point, huh? Don't ring that sprint button. Timer. Nice. Let's get some damage reduction there. Okay, so Mr. Liu Wei is not gonna be happy with that news, but hey, whatever, fuck him. What a shithole. Alright, let's complete this quest. I will zip ahead so you don't have to watch me run the way back to the limp clinic. And that will be the end of this session. A long one, I have to say, but there you have it.
Some of my old pals at Bell Tower. Got him to reassign a couple of local patrols. You should have a few less problems to deal with for a while.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Nice. You helped me out there. Sorry you missed the beginning of that. Didn't know he was going to call me so soon already. But yeah, pretty sweet. And again, I already killed a couple of guys in the air, so they shouldn't be bothering me anyhow. Let's disappoint Wei. So every action.
So? You have found Zelazny? I cannot stress enough the importance of this task, Mr. Jensen.
I found him.
Really, Mr. Jensen? You have been able to make him understand reason? Will he turn himself in?
It's a long story, Doc. I tracked Zelazny and his men. They were hiding in the sewers. And after talking to him, I decided to let him go.
What? But he is a dangerous man, Mr. Jensen. You should not have done this.
The men Zelazny's after are far more dangerous than he is. His methods are extreme, but I think his cause is justified. To be honest, Doc, I believe what he wants isn't that different from you. An honorable government free of corruption. They could use a man like you.
I had not foreseen such a thing. I don't know, Mr. Jensen. You seem to believe that the end justifies the means, but I don't know. I'll have to think about this. Here is a praxis kit. It's all I have.
Oh, thank you very much. I like a praxis kit. Yay! I'm not sure what that word even anymore. Let's save it. I guess we could go for that, or speeds up energy recharge gate. See, now that's actually useful. There you go. Spend that. Can use it quicker. So this will be the official end of today, or of today's session. Too bad I cannot go into those pods anymore, because there's another store back there. So now it's only the Chinese guy in the hotel. But whatever. Next quest up is a difficult one, since I have to take him out stealthily, apparently. Which is a big one for Mr. Darrow. But, you know, we will see what we can do with that. It's gonna be a tough bunny to crack. I can take him out one by one. Not being able to alarm them, that's actually the most difficult part of it all. They're gonna be there. Quite a few of them. And I can't kill them. Now I wish I kinda had my train gun. So with this I will leave you guys today, and I hope to see you guys again soon.